All right. Still waiting on a couple, looks like. All right, scholars, while we're waiting for the remaining scholars, everyone make sure you have number stories number 70 out. Oh, do they get the sheet or no? They get the sheet already? Do you think they have it in their packet? Yeah, they have it. All right, awesome. They have it in their packet. So I guess doing the retail doesn't make sense. Ms. McCain, you think it makes sense to do a retail if they already have it in their packet?
It would be great because I won't be able to do breakout rooms that fast.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I think we should.
Maybe just have them retell it in their own words rather than reading it from the paper.
Okay, makes sense. I misled for as well. All right, I think we have 52. We should have like 60, right? 60.
You can just begin.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna start. All right, good afternoon, scholars. Welcome to Remote Day Learning number 1, number stories 70. Today we're gonna begin. I'm gonna start by reading off the story, well, the specific number story, and then I'm gonna have a scholar retell in their own words without using the, your worksheet to the best of your ability. Okay, so one box of candy has 2 layers with 12 candies in each layer. Elena bought 8 of these boxes of candy for gifts. How many candies did she buy? Okay, have somebody retell that. Raise your hand. Somebody's not looking at their paper though. So I'm gonna have Daniele retell it.
So in the store, one box of candy has 2 layers, and in each of the 2 layers, 12 candies are in each layer. Elena bought 8 of them for gifts, and we need to figure out how many candies did she buy in total.
Good, very good. All right, we're gonna have Rodrigo do the second one. Rodrigo, go ahead.
So one box of candy has 2 layers with 12 candies in each layer, and Elia brought 8 boxes, and we have to figure out how many candies she brought in all.
All right. Thank you, Rodrigo. Thank you. Now, so my question is, oh, hold up one second. All right, so my question is, does Elena buy more or less than 12 candies? Elena buy more or less than 12 candies? Based on this situational problem, I'll let Ms. McLean. Ms. K, are you the?
Yep, I'm here. Let's hear from Adrielle.
Elena bought more than 12 candies because in one box there are 2 layers with 12 candies in each layer, and that makes it that in one box there are more than 12 layers. 12 candies, and then Elena bought 8 boxes, so there are more than 12 candies.
All right, awesome. All right, so are we ready for breakout rooms?
No, I'm still working on it.
So, who agrees with Adrielle? Who disagrees? I see Jace disagrees. All right, Jace, why do you disagree?
No, I actually changed my mind, and I actually changed my mind, and I agree because it does, because it says that that it says that from the text that she got 2 layers, and each layer had 12 candies, and our main summary and overall thing that we're looking for is how much candies did she buy from the 8 boxes.
Okay. All right. So now that we have everybody situated, understanding the problem, I want you guys to begin working on your number stories until the break rooms are ready. For now, let's start your number stories, and then we'll eventually move into a room, a separate room.
Yes, I'll let you know when we're ready to move out into breakout.
Do you want to just have them, they can possibly get started or?
Yeah, that's what I told them. I told them to
Oh,
start.
sorry. I
Yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
trying to.
Shout out to Jason, who looks like he's solving silently.
Ethan and Jaden, turn on your cameras.
Everyone
Make
is-
sure your pencil is to paper and you're representing one of your strategies right now.
Yeah.
Mr. Vasquez, can you potentially share your screen with the number story or hold
Yes.
it up? Ryan does not have the number story. I'm thinking maybe some other scholars might not have it as well.
Okay. Yes, I'll share.
I just put it into the chat for everyone
Oh, perfect.
because I know some people were messaging me about that.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
Mhm.
Alrighty. Let me do it right now. Okay, Miss McLean just wrote it out. All right, so everyone look in the chat for those that don't have the physical paper. Get a piece of loose leaf or any paper. Then use what Miss McLean just wrote. See a lot of scholars working hard. Let's not forget our number sentence at the end. Don't forget to use your units. You're done.
Okay, we can go out into breakout rooms. You may have, because kids are still popping in. So Mr. Vasquez, what's gonna happen is you're probably gonna have a lot more scholars in your group because I keep going back and forth trying to place them in, but then they keep leaving at the same time.
All right, that's right. No problem.
Okay, so we'll break out into groups for how long?
So we have till 55. So we have about 10 minutes, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're breaking out now into 10 minutes. Jason.
Can I show my work, please?
Not yet. Not yet. Wait, because not everybody got finished.
Can we use an unknown and known chart?
Friendly, I know you are not typing in this chat.
I've been trying to tell him to stop, but he keeps on saying no.
Okay, so Brenly, that's your second strike. The third one, that means that you're gonna get kicked. I'm gonna kick you off, and you're gonna get sent. I'm gonna send an email to the deans. I really hope it doesn't get that far. Okay, has everybody been able to solve the problem yet?
I didn't finish.
Okay, go ahead, finish up. Jason, Jason, where are you? Unmute yourself. How many ways did you solve your problem? Everybody else should still be working.
One way.
Was it multiplication or addition?
Multiplication and addition.
Okay, let me see your work. Hold it up to the camera.
Nobody look at his work.
Okay, McCon, you can't speak, otherwise the camera view changes.
Oh.
Jason, say something.
My work is right
Thank you.
here.
Oh, it goes back. Okay, hold it more up to the camera. Let me see what you did. So you did 2 times 24. Okay, 24.
12.
Good. And then what did you do at the bottom? Is that a second strategy?
No, it's the same strategy. Like it's like multiplication and addition, but I used addition.
Hold on, I don't understand. Let me just mute this almost. Okay, where are you, Jason? Say something, Jason.
I'm right here.
Let me see. Okay, so after you did 24 times 8, what was your answer?
Right there.
What? Oh, 192. Okay. And then can you explain to me how you did the addition?
I did the addition by first. I noticed that I said like one box of candy has 2 layers with 12 candies inside, and then Aline bought 8 boxes, and so I multiplied 2 times 12. I got 24. So there was 24, and each and wait.
Because that still sounds like multiplication.
But I used multiplication to like multiply 24 times 8, and then I added 24 plus 24, and then 24 plus 24, and then
like 24 8 times.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Okay. Makan, Jason, mute yourself, and then Makan, unmute yourself. Okay, Makan, show me what you have on your paper.
What I have on my paper is this. Oh, right here. Sorry.
Okay.
Oh, here. Let me just.
Did you use an area model?
Yeah, I use an area model, and I use the chart.
Let me
right
see.
there. I use a chart right there.
Hold on 1 second.
I use the chart, and then here's my area model, and I use multiplication and addition.
Okay. 192. Let me see the bottom of your paper.
Okay. It's 192 pieces. It's just backwards.
Okay. Remember your first number sentence, right? What do I always say? That first number sentence.
It needs to have
what?
A visual. I mean a term.
A variable.
Oh, a variable. So C.
Yeah, good. Does anybody have a different way that doesn't involve the area model or
I also use another way to solve without area model.
How did you hold on 1 second?
I did this, but I got the wrong answer.
1 second.
I did for do you want one without area model?
1 second.
Yeah.
Makan, what was the other way you said?
The other way I did it was I used number sentences.
What do you mean by that?
So I used multiplication number sentences. So I did like 2 times 12 equals 24. And then when I saw that Elena had bought 8 boxes, I put 8 times 24.
Oh,
And then I counted it up. I counted 8.
Uh-huh.
And then I did 8 times 24 and got 192.
Okay, it still sounds the same. Jace, let me see what you had. What did you have problem with? Unmute yourself and show me what you had.
I had this, but I had the wrong answer.
What were you trying to do?
I was trying to put like two 12s in each box.
Okay, so I see. You were trying to draw the pictures. But what answer did you get?
I had 172.
Okay, yeah, because it should have, what happens is 12 times 2 would be 24. And then you would have to do 24 times 8 equals C. And then 192 is your answer. Okay?
Oh, okay.
So you're going to see different strategies in about 2 minutes or so where they'll show you how to do that. But what we're looking for, Ari, I'm going to call on you just now. What we're looking for, everybody, is how to do it the way that Makan did it, because he used the area model. I want to see more of that next time. Trying to use the area model because I know a lot of us are having trouble with that. Ari, unmute yourself. Everybody else should be muted except for Ari.
You said that did you say that we have to do it one way, or do we have to do it multiple ways?
So usually, just like in class, right? When I'm working with other people, you're supposed to be trying to solve it in multiple ways, right? So what way did you try to solve it?
I tried to solve it in the what's this called again?
The area model or multiplication?
No.
Area model, multiplication, addition.
Algorithm.
Oh, the algorithm. Okay, what was your algorithm?
So I was doing so for.
Is it what Jason did?
Talking. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention to what he was doing.
So Jason did 2 times 12 in parentheses times 8 equals C. Was that close to what you wrote?
Yeah. I did it in addition.
You did it in addition? Okay, how'd you do it in addition?
I just put 12 was 12, and then the big answer I got, I just added 12 with that.
Okay, so you added 12.
Something like this. I don't know if you can really.
Yeah, I can see it. Okay, so you did 12 plus 12 first, and then you got 24. And then then
I added 12 to 24 for Elena. I should really
okay, so what was your answer?
I didn't get the answer yet.
Okay, yeah, because I think what's going to happen is you're going to end up getting the wrong answer because you did the first part right. That was fine by adding 12 plus 12, which got you to 24. But then adding another 12 to that 24 is going to throw off your answer because Jason did it this way where he multiplied, but then you have to remember to add 24 8 times.
But I did it like for the 24 was for Elena. And then I added 12 for Elena so I can continue on so I don't have to do most of the work and that's fine.
Yeah.
Yes, Jace, I know. Okay.
Miss Sanho.
Yeah, Makan.
So, for the number stories,
Mm-hmm.
I noticed this one that will the teachers be sharing out the scholars' work like how we do it in school? Like we just
Probably not.
on the share screen and then we say what we did and then the teacher would just write it on the paper. Write it on the
So you're gonna see just now, but yeah, we're talking and we're trying to figure out which scholars are gonna share out. So we're about to go back into our groups. in 8 seconds.
So you picked who was talking?
No, I don't. I for our group, yeah.
Hold on. Move it down a little bit, hon. Now don't move. Okay, so it looks like you used the algorithm to solve, Ariana. Okay, thank you.
So I've had 3 that use algorithm. 3, and then someone that used yes, Chukari.
I'm not sure if the teachers in the main room are aware that everyone else came back.
Okay. All right. Welcome back, everyone. So we're gonna have 2 scholars share that we guys solved it differently. So we have one. Let me look at the chat real quick. All right, so we're gonna have Daniele explain how she solved her problem. Where's Daniele at? Daniele. There she is. All right, Daniele.
First what I did was I drew 8 boxes to show the 8 boxes of candies that she bought for gifts, and then I had to multiply 2 times 12 to get 24 because in the first sentence it said 1 box of candy had 2 layers with 12 candies in each layer. So I got 24, and then I had to multiply 8 times 24, which got me to 102.
Right. Okay. 192. All right, so I'm gonna share it real quick. All right, here we go.
Yes. Wait, am I still mute? I can still talk.
All right, so here what Danielle. Oh, yeah, okay, Danielle. Sorry, I'll meet you. So here, Danielle says she multiplied 2 times 12, where she got 24 candies, and 24 times 8, where she got the total of 192 candies. Okay. Did anyone else solve that differently? So we have a couple hands, Rachel and Akua. Akua, how did you solve it differently?
I solved it differently because I put a box and then I put a line through the box. Then I put 12 on the top and I put 12 on the bottom because it's 2 layers. So that was the first part of the layer and that was the second part of the layer. Okay. Then by the side of that, I did times 8, which represented how there were 8 boxes that they bought of candy. Then I did 12 plus 12 equals 24. Then I did 20 times 8 equals 160, so I could break it up. Then I did 8 times 4 equals 32. Then I added those 160 and 32, and that got me to 192 candy.
Okay, I see what you did there. Rodrigo, did you do it that way too? See, Rodrigo said he did it differently. Where's Rodrigo? I just lost him. Rodrigo.
I got him. Go ahead, Rodrigo.
I did this way where I drew 8 boxes and then I'm on top I put 48 and then I did 48 and I add them 4 times. I got 2 of 96, and then I did 96 plus 96, which equals 192.
Okay. And Makan, you said you did it differently. Anybody see Makan up there? Makan, there he is. Makan,
Yes.
how'd you do it?
I did my work. So first I put an unknown and known chart, and I put for that one box has 2 layers with 12 candies in each. And then I put Elena bought 8 of these boxes of candy for gifts. Then I put unknown, how many candy did she buy in all? So then I put multiplication, division. I basically just put all the signs of multiplication, addition, subtraction, and division, and I put all those signs up, and then I crossed out division and subtraction, and I circled addition and multiplication. Then I used an area model. I did 4 times 8. I added 2 times 12 to make 24. So I did 8 times 24, which got me. So I did 8 times 24 got me 192. And that's how I got my answer.
Okay. Thank you for sharing. All right, scholars. That's going to conclude stories number 70 for today. We're going to move on to our writing course for today, and Miss Nanu is going to take over. Okay. So everyone stay in the class, but take out your writing packet or writing lesson today.
Teachers, writing is scheduled to start at 3:05. So we still have about 10 minutes to utilize here. What I'd like to do is go back into the breakout rooms and have scholars revise their strategy. And then teachers, what we talked about today and this morning in terms of a lesson goal, trying to get them to see the usefulness of like compensating so that they can change the numbers and then have them try it themselves. So let's go back into breakout rooms for 6 minutes. Then we'll come back together to close, and hopefully one of the scholars will be able to explain that strategy.
Okay, going back out for 6 minutes. Please make sure you're muted in 10, 9,
Hi, gamers.
8, 7, 6. Good. Okay. Yes, Jason, unmute yourself and speak.
Since I'm done with the number stories and I actually got it correct, can I work on my writing?
Not yet.
Not my writing, I mean this.
No, you can't. You still have to pay attention to what we're doing right now. Okay?
Oh,
Sorry. Okay. Jason, mute yourself. Ensemble, unmute yourself.
Can you fix your work at this time?
The number stories? Yeah, that's what we're doing. Everybody, if you did not, those of you who did not get the same answer and the work shown from when we went back into the main room, that's exactly what you're doing now. Makan, that's a strike. Okay, so everybody should be fixing their work at this time. Ensemble, mute yourself. Brentley, unmute yourself. Yes, Brentley. What's your question, Brentley?
Question.
Oh, okay. Unmute yourself. Yeah. Okay, Ari, did you fix your work? Ari, unmute yourself.
What packet is writing in?
What did I do wrong? Because I got sent to the main session before you told me what I needed to do.
What do you mean?
Like, when we left the breakout room last time,
Yeah.
I didn't get to hear your advice, so I didn't do it.
Oh, that's okay. I mean, did you hear what they said when we went back to the main room?
Yeah, she said that Jason did a mistake while he was multiplying.
Okay, so did you fix your work based on what they talked about?
No.
Okay, so far on your paper, what do you have?
What packet is writing in?
Jason, we'll worry about that. I'm sorry, not Jason. We'll worry about that just now. Give me a second. Let me help Ari out.
All right.
What?
From out, unmute yourself. I'm sorry. Ari, give me 1 second. From out, unmute yourself.
Okay.
You gotta unmute yourself.
What if two people? What if we have like the same answer and different strategies?
That was discussed in the main room?
I was not able to hear.
Can you hear me?
But I didn't hear what they were saying in the main room.
Oh, you didn't hear what they said. Okay, so basically in the main room, Jason, did you hear what they said? Is that what you want to tell from Al? No? Okay, give me a sec. What happened, Jason?
That I don't have a writing packet. I can't find mine in my stack.
Okay. So there's nothing there that says anything about journals or anything?
I don't see any. I only see like tutoring packets and like next daily packets.
I have to show him. I know which one it is.
Okay, while I'm doing that, I'm gonna be talking. While you guys are doing that, I'm talking to. Yenza, are you okay? Did you get everything correct? You can unmute yourself to talk to me.
The first thing is I don't have the
Number stories. Okay.
I was trying to tell the other teachers, but didn't.
That one, Jace?
Okay. And Brenly, whatever you
Yeah.
have in your hand, please put it away. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Yandel, were you still able to revise your work? Like, were you able to do it on a piece of paper, maybe?
No.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you were gonna help me.
And also, I need.
Never mind.
I also need the
Never mind. Continue.
question because it didn't give me the question.
Okay. Okay, Ari, let me just help out Ari for a second. So Ari. Okay, so what you have on your paper, right? You had did 12 plus 12, right? And that gave you 24?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's perfectly fine. But we want to see you use, yeah, Jace, I said to go quickly. We want to see you use the area model. Do you know how to use the area model?
Yes.
Okay, so you should be using, so the area model, once you found the 24, you can use the area model to help you solve 24 times 8. Okay? Okay, so then you could have thought of it as changing the 24 to 25 and then doing 25 times 8, and that would have gave you 200, right? Which would be a simpler number for you to multiply. And then you would also do 1 times 8. And then from that, you would basically do 200 minus 8, and that will give you 192. Okay?
Okay.
So we got to work on using the area model next time. We're going back to the main room.
And that would get us to our answer of 192.
Okay. Let's see if Akua can explain that to the group while Mr. Vasquez charts it, so that we can then close out.
What she said? Sorry. All right, I'm gonna mute.
So
Wait,
we had.
I need to find a share screen. There we go. All right.
So let's start with the equation, Akua. We know the equation to solve was what?
We know the equation to solve was 8 times 24.
Watch here. So 8 times 24.
Now, is that an easy equation for you to solve, Akua?
No.
So what did you do instead?
So instead, I did 10 times 24 because that was easier. And that got me to 240. Then I took away 2 groups from the 10 and added it and
Two groups of what? You took away two groups of what?
2 groups of 24 from 10. So 2 times 24 equals 48. And I subtracted 240 from 48 because that would tell me that that would get me to my answer of 8 times 24, and that got me to 192, which was my answer.
All right. Okay. Thank you, cool. All right, so that's gonna everybody's back in the room. So now we're gonna move on to writing with Ms. Nagi.
Great, good afternoon, scholars. So we're now transitioning over into writing, which is our last block. Yay, we made it through our first day, almost there. So what you should have in front of you, because some of you were saying that I spoke to you on the phone that you didn't have writing, your writing should be marked, I believe March 16th, and it should look like this. It should have just a graphic organizer on it. Okay. So we'll just wait a couple seconds to make sure you have it in front of you. And if you don't have it, that's perfectly fine. Just make sure that you're following along. I am going to share my screen eventually with you. Make sure you can create a graphic organizer by just separating your page into 2 sections like this. And on the left-hand side, it can say events of the month. And on the right-hand side, it can say emotions surrounding events. Give me 1 sec. Where is Miss Lord? Oh, there she is. Never mind. Okay. Okay. So moving on. So in our previous writing lesson, we got off to a great start to our creative writing unit. And we also created personal diaries when we were all together. Today and in our upcoming writing lessons, we're going to focus on journal entries. So we're going to pre-write our personal journal entries, and then in our next lessons following up, just like we did with our diaries, we're going to draft them and then later on revise and edit them. Okay, so just to begin, because I know we went over our writing process, agree or disagree, is drafting the first step in our writing process? And I kind of gave it away in the beginning there. Agree or disagree? Okay. Miss McLean or Mr. Vasquez, can you call on someone?
Yeah, sorry, next time, to clue us in, just say, like, let me hear from someone who has a degree or something like that. Liam, go ahead.
Oops, can you unmute yourself? Thank you.
Um, uh, um, Drafting is not the first step of the writing process. Brainstorming is, and we need to brainstorm because it helps us with our draft.
Great answer. Okay, so yes, today we are going to continue, we're going to brainstorm for our personal journal entries. And then, like I said, later on this week, we'll end up drafting and then revising and editing. So I just want everybody to think for like about 30 seconds or so, what is a journal? And when you think you have that idea, just raise your hand so we can call on you. So
Should I go ahead and pick a few?
Yeah, you can go.
Okay. All right, track Jocelyn.
Can you repeat the question? I was talking to my parents.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. What is a journal?
A journal is an important event of your life, like, and how you felt about it, and you're writing it down on a piece of paper, explaining everything that happened.
Very good. Yeah. So just to repeat what Jocelyn said, a journal is a record of personal events, and it includes how the writer feels about these events. It's a little bit different than a diary, whereas a diary, you can actually just write about everything. Every simple little detail you can just put in your diary. Whereas a journal, like I said, only captures the main events, okay, and how you really feel about it. So we're now going to read a new journal entry from a young woman living in the South during the Civil War. While I'm reading, I want you to think about what makes this a journal entry. What are the certain characteristics of this entry that we're reading that makes it a journal entry? I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Whoops. Oh, Miss Lorton, you're gonna have to transfer host back to me, or at least make me a co-host, because I can't.
Okay, no problem. I'm still assigning the room, so I'll
Just make me a co-host. I think that should be fine. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Share. Okay, so everybody can see the journal entry in front of them, I hope. Okay, great. Okay, so I'm just gonna begin reading. Eyes are tracking the journal entry in front of them. Okay, August 10th, 1862. Well, what next? The whole community is in a state of excitement. The federal commander has issued the order that all citizens are commanded to take an oath of allegiance to the federal government. Those who do not swear are not allowed to follow any business whatever and are prisoners at home. This oath compels thousands to swear against their own conscience or have their families to perish. Mr. Anderson this day subscribed to the oath required. It was a hard thing, but the only alternative. Women and children are also required to swear allegiance or be prisoners at home. I am now a prisoner at home, liable to be arrested if I but leave the yard. God being my help, I will not take the oath unless circumstances beyond my control force me to it. We have been in an alarming drought this spring and summer. This is the anniversary of the battle near Springfield, 1861. Oh, what a year has this been. History has nothing on record equal to it on this continent. Blood, bloat, the blood of brothers and kindred flows from one end of our land to the other. The war increases in fury, and we have no glimmering ray of peace to enlighten our weary souls. Okay, so just take about 30 seconds. I know that was a lot of detail to think about this text. And when you're ready, we'll choose some scholars to hear from about what makes this a journal entry.
All right, let's start with Ariana.
What makes this a journal entry is that it has like it's only talking about main details in the text. Compared to a diary, you can add on to not that important details and key and specific details, but in the journal you have to use only important events.
Great. And what is this person focusing on? What's the main focus that's happening here that I had mentioned actually before we read it? Where are these events coming from? What time period or what war was going on?
If you want to respond, please raise your hand. I am trying to call on people who haven't had very many chances today. All right, let's hear from Jameer.
Can you say the question again?
Sure. So what time setting was this event taking place? What war was going on? What war was going on?
The war that was going on was like was a war. I'm not sure.
Okay, so I'm gonna help you out because it doesn't say it in text, but it was something that I had mentioned before. So this person is focusing a lot on events that happened during the Civil War. So that's what makes this different from a diary entry, okay? Because that's a really important time during history, okay? The entry also reflects how this girl, the writer, how she feels about it, okay? Looking at the text in front of you, what are some certain, what evidence shows how she feels?
Milani.
So in the text it says, in paragraph 1 it says, I will not take the oath unless critical standards beyond my control force to it. And that shows me that this girl is very like, is kind of mad at this point because she wants to be free. She wants to be free of these people who are keeping her captive.
Great, very good. So the key takeaway here is that the purpose of writing, as we discussed, is in a journal, you're recording major events or reflect on a theme or significant moments in one's life. So you're not summarizing the day, okay? You're talking about the important events that happen within that day, if anything. And it also has to include the emotions and feelings behind it. So we have previously worked with graphic organizers when we were doing the diary entries and brainstorming. So for today, we're going to brainstorm on our first day of school. And because journals focus on a larger and more important events instead of smaller details, we'll also be focusing on the large events surrounding our first days of school. So I'm going to show you what that looks like before I send you off to let you do that. So we're going to specifically be brainstorming the emotions and the events of our first month of school. And it can also be, when you do this on your own, I just want you to know, it could be the first month of school this year, your first month of kindergarten, or the first month of school at classical. Okay, so it can be anything along those lines. So I'm going to show you, we're still looking at the slideshow. So this is the graphic organizer we're going to be using, and you're going to have to include the events on this side and then your emotions on this side, okay? So, although we do not need to make everything in chronological order because we are focusing really on the emotions, it does, however, make more sense to list it in that way. So make sure that when you are completing this, that you still trying to list your events in chronological order, okay? So let's start. I'm gonna show you what mine is gonna look like. So the first thing that happened in middle school was that I pulled up with my mother, who dropped me off, and I took notice of my surroundings, okay? So as you can tell, I was a little bit more detailed here. The first day was really hard. When we pulled up, I noticed that there were different buildings for each class, and all the other kids seemed to be talking to each other and already have friends, okay? So this was obviously so new to me. And when I think back to this moment, I was extremely nervous. Okay, because I didn't know anybody. I was in a completely different environment, and that's exactly what I added to my next column here. So I said I was so nervous. That's my emotion, that's my feeling, because I didn't know where I was going or what to expect. I didn't know if I would have friends. Okay, so moving on. Once I met a few people in class the first week, I realized there were a lot of nice people to become friends with. And this made me feel happy. I was a little bit more at ease. So I remember feeling relieved that everyone seemed so sweet and reassured that everyone seemed to feel the same way as me, okay? And then my last part was, then the second week, a girl named Sarah in my class invited me to her birthday party. This meant I had finally made some friends and I got to attend the party, which was really nice. So instead of showing you what this last emotion is, I want you to think about how I felt, and we're going, Thornton, are you ready to break off into groups? Breakout rooms?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're just gonna quickly break out into our rooms for about 2 minutes and just talk about how you think I felt. What would I possibly write in this next box? So just for 2 minutes, we're just gonna break out. You're not writing anything on your paper because that's for IP. Okay, you're just talking about it.
Alrighty, I'm gonna open all the breakout rooms.
How long are we there for?
2 minutes.
Okay.
2 minutes.
Hello. Hi.
Hey guys. Okay, guys.
Hello.
So everybody mute in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, and Selma, you're still not, thank you. 2, 1. Okay, Yusuf, you need to mute yourself. Okay, so my question, once again, how do you think I felt? The second week, I'm going to reread to you. Then the second week, a girl named Sarah in my class invited me to her birthday party. This meant I had finally made some friends. How do you think I felt?
You felt good.
And you can speak. Lisa?
I think you felt like a little like anxious, like your body might be shivering.
Okay, so maybe like I had like a nervous feeling, but then how else did I feel? Issa, mute yourself, and from out, unmute yourself.
I think you could have been like excited and like very proud of yourself because you made it through like almost the whole week, the whole first week.
Exactly, right? So it was probably, I felt like really happy, or what else? And from Al, mute yourself, and Anselmo, you can unmute. We have about 11 seconds.
I think you felt excited because
Now you feel like when you feel like you have a real friend. You're like, oh, if you're like, oh, I have a real friend. Like this friend cares about me. This friend cares about me, and like you're very excited to meet her.
Yep.
And have fun.
Exactly.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye, everybody.
Mommy.
Bye, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow.
So my chair broke. I'm sad now.
Oh no.
That's tough.
Okay, everybody make sure that you're muted.
All right.
But just one part.
Oh no.
Bye.
Everybody. Yeah.
We should all be back.
Yeah. Oh, okay, because the way it was showing up on mine was a little different. Okay, is my screen still shared with you guys?
No.
No. Okay, let me reshare it.
Ari, have a seat.
Oh, I think he said his chair broke.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Okay, so why don't we call on a couple people to share out as into how they think I felt?
If any of the teachers from the groups had suggestions, then you can just let me know.
Oh,
Or I might have missed. Let me start with Imani in my group had a pretty good point.
Oh.
Imani, can you share your idea out, please?
Miss Nanu probably felt a little bit better and like confident because she made a friend.
Up.
And
oops. And what?
And maybe since she has a friend now, she could finally like act normal and like don't be that scared.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
Marian, did you have anything to say in your group?
No, but I was like thinking since Miss Nanu had made a friend, she would like have fun, like she would have to spend a lot of time with each other, because since she like had made a new friend, you would have you wouldn't like be alone, like you would still like talk to him and talk to her, and then like you since like at first she was nervous, so then I think like she wouldn't be nervous at all now.
Great answers. Okay, so just to show you guys what my last one was, I felt overjoyed that someone was going out of their way to become friends with me. I knew that middle school was going to be so fun if I kept putting myself out there. Okay, so this is what you are going to have to do during IP, but before we go into that, I just want you to know, just to remind you of the reason that we're doing this, our journals will probably look fairly different because, you know, all of us are different, so we're all going to be writing differently, but the emotions will probably be similar because if you remember in the beginning when I first started this unit, I had said that this that we're going to be writing into perspective of characters from Bud Not Buddy. Okay, so that's why our emotions later on when we get there, our emotions may be similar. But for right now, we're just working on trying to create different events throughout our day and the emotions surrounding those events so that when we get there, we know exactly what a journal should look like when we're writing from the perspective of characters from Bud Not Buddy. So now what I want you to do for, you'll have about 10 good minutes to do this. You're gonna spend some time remembering your first day of school, and you can talk about it when you're in your breakup groups. And you will be writing your journal entry on your first day of school. This can be your first day of school, like I said, classical or of fourth grade, or your first day of school, any grade that you want to write from, any event that you want to write from, but it deals with school, the first day of some sort of school. So first, think about the events of the day, okay? And then you're writing these in the left side column of your paper, okay? And then think about how you were feeling at each stage and why you were feeling this way, okay? That's gonna be your focus, okay? Just like we did together. And so yeah, you're gonna spend the next 10 minutes in breakout groups creating your, filling out your graphic organizer.
All right, sending everybody to their breakout groups.
Hello. Hi.
Hi. Okay, everybody. Yes.
Hi.
Everybody mute themselves
Sorry
in
about
10,
Hi.
8,
Bye
7,
bye.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
Bye.
1. Everybody should be muted. If you have a question, you're raising your hand. Okay, I'm starting with Makan. Unmute yourself. Go ahead.
So I already had I have my writing done already because I did it on Thursday.
You filled out the chart?
Huh?
Did you fill out the chart?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so what you can go ahead and do, because let me see your chart again.
I did it all on Thursday.
Okay, your emotions though don't look as complete as mine do. So you need to go back and revise that. Edit that a little bit more, and then when you feel like you're ready, you can go ahead and
the draft is for Tuesday.
yeah, so I don't want you to start writing it. So do that first. Go ahead and reread everything, and it should look like mine, because remember mine, I had full sentences in mine. So I'm gonna share my screen again so that you're able to see what mine's look like, okay? Okay, so Makan, mute yourself. Jace, unmute yourself.
I wanted to know if I could put my screen like if I need to like ask the teacher something, but I also need to watch the video. Like, can I put my screen like half chat and like half video? Like half of this, like half of it is a chat. All right.
Jason, did you have a question? Yeah, unmute yourself.
Okay, my question is like, does it have to be a month, or like how are you gonna remember like your first month at school, and like can it just be like the first day?
Yeah, I think I said that. I think I said that you can write about
Oh, okay. I didn't hear you.
Oh yeah. Okay, so the thing is
A graphic organizer that I don't have.
So the thing is, why you can't do just a date is because that's kind of similar to writing a diary entry, whereas a journal, it's more so the steps of it. So I mean the events for that whole month. Okay, because you're focusing on different events, right? So try to think back. I guess think about this grade. Can you recall more information, Jason, from when you started the fourth grade?
No, I have like a lot of information when I started kindergarten.
Okay, so then do that. That's perfectly fine. Yes, Isa.
that you guys didn't give me most of the work, so like I don't have most of it.
Okay, so I'm not sure what happened. You can find these things on the website, but for now, like I said, you should have like a piece of paper in front of you or a notebook, and you're just like how I shared my screen with you. In your notebook, you're creating 2 sections, and you're writing events of the month on the left and emotions surrounding events on the other side.
Shouldn't the month basically be April since summer ends in April?
Say that again?
Shouldn't you, for the first day of school, shouldn't the month be April because you end school on April because of summer vacation?
No, because you're talking about just 1 month. You're not talking about like the whole school year.
I know, but you said like events of the month, so basically the month of April.
No, but remember, you're not, when did you start school?
Well, I started 4th grade in April.
July.
Basically because of summer vacation.
July. We started
No, didn't you start school in September?
Just because I don't remember doesn't mean that I'm lying.
July.
Jace, I'm sorry. I should be talking to just you. Where are you?
Shermel said I was lying just because I
No.
thought that we started in April.
Okay.
Just stop fighting.
I just muted everybody's video, so whoever's talking needs to stop. Jace, didn't you start school in September? When did you start the 4th grade, Jace?
I don't remember. I think it was April.
No, sweetie. April didn't even start yet. Okay, so if you're talking about last year.
Yeah.
Okay, if you started school last year, that's the 3rd grade you're talking about. And when we start school in September.
I'm talking about that we started 4th grade.
Yeah, no, sweetie, you started 4th grade in September, not April.
Okay, that's what I was trying to say.
Okay. Mute yourself, Jace. Makan, mute yourself.
I finished. So do you want me to read it out to you or something?
Not yet. Give me 1 second. Ari, what's your question? Jace, mute yourself. Ari?
So, what if we don't have the paper for writing? Do we have to write it on a piece of paper or something?
Yes, that's what I said. You should be writing. You should be creating this on a piece of paper.
Okay, let me get my notebook.
Makan, mute yourself. I muted you. It's fine.
Somebody just made this weird screaming noise in the background.
Yeah, and it needs to stop.
Oh, all right.
Brenly, are you okay? Let me see what you have so far, Brenly. Unmute yourself.
I'm writing down the chart.
Okay, you're writing down the chart?
Charizard.
Anselmo? Unmute yourself, Anselmo.
Oh. I'm already done with mine.
Let me see yours. Hold it up to the screen. Hold on. Try to hold it up like, you gotta hold it, yeah, with 2 hands so I can see properly. Hold it up more, closer. I can't see that far. Yeah, it's still. Okay. Give me 1 second. Anselmo, say something.
Hi.
Thank you. Okay, now put it back in the pit.
Roar.
Jace, you have a strike because I needed Anselmo to say something so that he can come back in my view, and you just made him go back out. Anselmo, say something else.
Hi.
Thank you. Okay, push it more close to the paper, to the camera. I'm sorry. Okay. How about you read what you put in the first two?
On the first two, what I put is that I was curious about how school would be and my emotional surrounding events. I saw people, but I kind of worried about myself.
Okay, you have to be a little bit more detailed. So what are you writing about?
I'm writing about my first day of school.
The first day of school. Okay, so it can't just be the first day, right? We have to either, like I said, talk about oh yeah, that's fine. So what was the first thing that happened to you?
The first thing that
Anselmo, we're gonna have to stop here because it's gonna. Oh, we still have 58 seconds. Okay, what happened?
I'm really not talking about my first day of fourth grade. I'm talking about my first day of kindergarten.
Okay, that's fine.
So what I was trying to say is that I saw people and I wasn't like too worried about it because I didn't know at school you can make friends. I didn't know anything about the school. I just only know that you had to study in there. You had to learn, and that's the only thing I learned from when I went.
Okay, so in the first box, you should have put something like first day of school, right? And then you would, in the emotions, explain how did you feel, which was fine. You did get that. You did tell me how you felt. But even before that, like, because we're talking about the first day of school, we
Ms. Zanhu, do you want me to select people? You might be muted. I don't know where you are. I'm going to go ahead and select people to share out.
That's fine.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, yeah, I was muted.
Yeah, cool. All right, so let's hear from, I'm going to scan through the list here. Let's hear from Jacob. I'm trying to find you. All right, Jacob, you are unmuted. Go ahead. Oops. Oh, there you go. Go ahead.
First I saw all the teachers. And then I was nervous because I didn't know which teacher I would get. And then I got Mr. Leary. And I was nervous because, and then he was nice. The classroom was new. I didn't know where things were. I finally got home. I was happy.
Great.
Okay. Jason, go ahead.
Okay. My event was when I started kindergarten, and when I started kindergarten, me and my mom were looking for the teacher who I was supposed to be with, and lots of people were surrounding me, so I felt scared and started to stay with my mom. And then when I went inside the school building, I started seeing the teachers, and I got a little bit nervous because I didn't know what was in this school because I'm new. I was new to it. And then when the teachers, when we started to work, I started to not be nervous because the teachers told us, like, the teacher was being nice to everyone, and I had a nice teacher. And when I got home, I didn't really feel that happy because I wanted to stay in kindergarten. Oh. Mm-hmm.
Great. Did you want to call one more person or?
Yeah, sure, up to you. So let me scan for some hands, looking for some people we haven't heard from for a little while. Let's hear from Anselmo. Anselmo, go ahead.
Well, at the first day at kindergarten, I kind of felt like I was like, when I was outside, I saw a lot of kids, and when I went inside the building, I was very curious and very excited for the school year to start because I really didn't know about anything about it. So I was a little starting to be a little worried until I met some friends, and after I became happier when I came back home.
Great. Okay, so great job today, guys. So tonight, what I want you to do for homework, I want you to basically just reflect again on the first day of school and any lessons you might have learned. And also, you can go to your family as a resource because they probably would remember that first reaction to your first day of school. So even talking to your family members would be a good way to recall that. And tomorrow we're going to begin drafting. So if you didn't get to complete your graphic organizer today during breakout rooms, that's for homework. Make sure it's completed because you're going to use that when you're drafting tomorrow. And I know teachers, we did want to say we wanted to just go back over what was the homework for everything.
Yeah, so for TA, I know there was some questions about it and I got a couple messages. You are required to finish your entire extended response. That is your homework. There is no other TA homework. You need to finish the extended response, not just the outline, but you actually need to draft it out. Did anybody else have any other homework?
Just checking in, do scholars understand that, I don't know if the advisory teachers have talked to scholars about like how their homework will be checked, that they're going to be getting a call, they're going to have to show it in front of the page, and they're going to have to be able to read off their answers or what they've written. So it's going to be very clear whether or not you did or did not do your homework. One thing to keep in mind during this entire remote learning session that we're going to be having, nobody knows when it's going to end, but it does affect your promotion. So when you think about whether or not you want to go to 5th grade, you need to think about how seriously you're taking this. We're marking every single thing. Every time you don't do your homework, every time you don't show up to a class, every time your reading is not done. It's all going to be taken into account when we consider next year.
I'm getting a couple messages. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm getting a couple messages too. It is due tomorrow before 8, between the hours of, or between the time of 8:30 to 9, you should expect that your advisory teacher is going to call you. It needs to be done by then. If it's not done by then, it's considered incomplete. Also, Edgar says he doesn't have a packet, so whoever is his advisory.
So any scholar who does not have a packet for something, reach out to your advisory teacher. They're going to share the materials with you digitally, so that like in an email or Jupyter, and you're still going to be expected to complete them on a notebook paper or on the back of some other paper. But as my understanding goes, if your parent picked up packets, you have all of the packets. You weren't given some, you were given all. So you have to just find them. No one got half the packets. That doesn't make any sense. So that's not what I want to be hearing.
Miss Linehan, they have homework packets?
Yep, they have a homework packet too. They have all of the packets.
Okay.
And with regard to the reading, the independent reading, I know I'm going to send out a link, and I'm pretty sure the other teachers are too, of where you can find the readings that are due for tomorrow, because we will also be calling you in the afternoon about your reading. And you have to be able to answer very specific questions, so it will be very clear if you did not read it.
Yes, and just to add on to what Miss Diaz was saying, it's not just one reading, there's 3 readings that you have to do. So make sure that you're completing all of the readings. And if you have any questions, make sure that you're trying to contact us over Jupyter so that we can help you. Okay, I guess that is it. All right. we will see everybody tomorrow.
Miss Nanhu, do you want us to, because I know we have our check-in, do we just
Yeah,
leave or
you can
back?
stay. You guys can stay, and then